Hello, hello. Imani's back in the house, Nubia House. Imani speaks, and I have a fantastic guest for you. I have a fantastic guest for you called Rijole Bitata. If that's the right pronunciation, is that?
Yes.
Now her CV is very huge. We could be here till next week, but I'll give you a brief summary of what she does and what she's about. She is a teacher. She's also the director of a supplementary services for children, and she has a passion for children, and she has some fantastic ideas that she's going to share with us. There is a partner in the business that she's doing that will be coming.
Well, in the program. It's a program.
Okay, so we'll speak to him when he arrives. But without any further ado, Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to play some music first, just to bring Rijole in, and really we're just going to let her share her knowledge, her wisdom, and if you have any questions, please feel free. Remember to text in on 07 580 183 483. That's 07 580 183 483. Email us at nubiahouseradio@gmail.com and leave your text messages. And if you want to call in and speak to Rijole personally, that'd be fine, because she's a wealth of knowledge on our children, the education, and what we can do to bring out the best, bring out the gifts that are in our children, because every child is gifted, I believe. It's really just about us knowing how to unwrap that gift. And Rijole is going to share that with us today. And you can all go away and, do that for yourselves and feel really good about your fantastic gifts called children. So we're going to play some music for you now, just to get you into the right mood and the state, and get your pens and papers. This is time for you to get your pens, your papers, your children, say to them, come on, this is going to be all about you, and have a good time together as a family. So please enjoy the music, and we'll be back. Here goes.
Hey, do you realize that you're great? Yes, you see and one who them say I know you. It's true, you can do anything that you want to do. You're great, remember that. And when we say children, remember we are all children of the Most High. All you have to do is try. You're great, you'll get by. Hey, children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Always remember.
Yes, Papa.
That you are what?
The best, Papa.
And you are highly
blessed, Papa.
Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Remember your greatness.
Yes, Papa.
Never underrate this.
No, Papa.
Shall we celebrate this?
Go, Papa.
Hey, never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are. You're great, Never let nobody ever try and underrate, Teacher, you try to educate, Shackles from your mind, I try to liberate, I motivate, Me say you're great, Me know say you're great, and me not guesstimate, Rise from the gutter, me I try to elevate, Enough for your head that me want penetrate, Because you're great, Say you were born great, but somewhere down the line, someone change your mind. Now it's time to rewind. Original design, and give yourself time. Keep on looking, you'll find time to make your light shine. Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Always remember.
Yes, Papa.
That you are what?
The best, Papa.
And you are highly
blessed, Papa.
Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Remember your greatness.
Yes, Papa.
Never underrate this.
No, Papa.
Shall we celebrate this?
Go, Papa.
Hey, never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you're not. No bottom of the pile, no back of the queue. Yes, I you same one that I am talking to. Said if you know your worth, if you know your value, certain things me see you do, you know you just wouldn't do. Say looking at the mirror and tell me if I true. Tell me say ooh, come in at your view. Many are called, but the chosen are few. Hey, There is nobody else like you. When them tell you you're not good, don't listen. All them want to do is send a great one a prison. Instead of going down, another great one has risen. Me tell it to you straight, listen what I'm expressing. It's a blessing. Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Always remember.
Yes, Papa.
That you are what?
The best, Papa.
And you are highly
blessed, Papa.
Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Remember your greatness.
Yes, Papa.
Never underrate this.
No, Papa.
Shall we celebrate this?
Go, Papa.
Hey, never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are. In order to be great, you have to think that you're great. In order for your powers then to start generate. In order for your seven senses to operate, you have to get your mind and your body in a shape. Well, if you think alive, then try meditate. Your inner more self, you have to try and locate. Through the valleys in your mind, you must navigate. Hey, if you want to reach that ultimate state, yes, you're gonna be someone. Then things say you're not ready, me say prove them wrong. Say up amongst the greats, that's where you belong. And if you forget, just remember this song. Come on. Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Always remember.
Yes, Papa.
That you are what?
The best, Papa.
And you are highly
blessed, Papa.
Children, children.
Yes, Papa.
Remember your greatness.
Yes, Papa.
Never underrate this.
No, Papa.
Shall we celebrate this?
Go, Papa.
Hey, never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't.
Never forget how great you are.
No, we won't. Young, gifted and black.
Oh, what a lovely, precious dream.
To be young, gifted and black.
Open your heart to what I mean.
In the whole world, you know, there's a million boys and girls who are young, gifted and black. And that's a fact. Young, gifted and black.
Must begin to tell our young.
There's a world waiting for you.
This quest has just begun.
When you feel really low, yeah, there's a great truth you should know. When you're young, gifted and black, your soul's intact. Young, gifted and black.
Oh, what a lovely, precious dream.
To be young, gifted and black.
Open your heart to what I mean.
In the whole world, you know, there's a million boys and girls who are young, gifted and black. And that's a fact. Young, gifted and black.
Must begin to tell our young.
There's a world waiting for you.
This quest has just begun.
When you feel really low, yeah, there's a great truth you should know. When you're young, gifted and black, your soul's intact. Young, gifted and black.
How I long to know the truth.
There are times when I
did it, actually. The principle or the rationale behind it.
It was that first bit, A plus B equals C.
Yes.
How does that work?
Which is a limp excuse for being lousy at maths generally. So let me introduce you now to two twins who certainly aren't. Paula and Peter Imafidon is their name. They've just passed the University of Cambridge Advanced Maths A-Level, and you've guessed it, they're just 8 years old. And they're here now with Dad Chris and Sister Samantha, who's not half bad at maths herself, I have to say. Thanks very much indeed, all of you, for coming in.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations. You are now the world record holders for getting you are the youngest people ever to attain such an achievement. Well, very, very well done. Were you surprised when you heard that?
Yeah.
You were? You knew you were going to do well, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
How hard have you been working?
Well, I find it as a game, so it's not really hard.
Oh, you thought it was you treated it as a game, right?
Yeah.
Now, tell me about the sort of things you had to do in this exam, Peter.
Well, we had to look at some questions that may seem difficult, but very easy once you just get in the swing of it.
Well, they clearly are for you. They wouldn't give me a penny. But anyway, I take your point. But I think I'm right in saying, Samantha, because you did this. How old were you when you passed your advanced maths?
I was 9.
You were 9, so they've beaten your record now, right? But it's not just about taking your calculator into the classroom, as you can do these days, or adding up, or multiplying, etc., or even doing algebra. It's about mathematical reasoning.
Yes.
What is that?
It's like, well, one of it is kind of like using the process of elimination, so you don't have to think as hard as you would do in an A-level paper. So you could say 3 of the questions were right and 1 of them is wrong. So if you work out the first 3 and they're right, then you know straight away that the last one will be wrong.
I guess it's about really understanding maths, isn't it? That's what it's about, rather than just doing adding up or multiplying or even doing algebra. It's about understanding why, which I never got to grips with. I was so bad at maths, they wouldn't even let me sit my O-level because they said it was a complete waste of time even trying, right? You are fantastic. How do you explain this? You and your wife good at maths?
Oh, no, I'm not a mathematician. Neither is my wife, but the big sisters like playing the number games, like Peter was saying.
Yeah.
So they want to outdo each other. So anything that is competitive then becomes something that drives up.
So this goes right through all your children?
Yes.
Everyone is good
I was very good at competitive apple eating, but unfortunately there were no exams in that.
No, interestingly, you mentioned about algebra. If you look at the bowl of fruits in front of us here, just counting the number of apples, the number of bananas, that's an algebraic activity. Yeah. If we take maths out of the classroom and bring it to normal daily life, it's less threatening. It can
become fun, as it has
yes,
has for them.
It is fun. For instance, they don't follow the 9 times table, the normal, the way everybody does it. Peter, how do you do Paula, how do you do your 9 times table?
On my fingers.
Okay, how do you do it? Do you want to do a quick demo?
You put down your first finger, that's why you know that 9 times 1 is 9.
Yes.
And then you put down your second finger and bring up your first finger, and you know that 9 times 2 is 18.
Very clever, you see. Why did my teacher never tell me that? I might have done a little bit better. Hey, I tell you what, we're going to leave it there. I think you're going to be coming on later to talk about your prowess. Thank you very much, Steve, for being with us. Good to see you all, and many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
3 9s are 27.
We'll go away and do
How
it in
easy is that?
Yeah, it is good. Very clever.
Although surely you run out of hands, or after you get to sort of like as soon as you get to the hundreds and stuff.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Okay, kings and queens, I hope you are ready for the show. You're ready to meet our fantastic special guest, our beautiful guest, Rijole Bitata. And we are going to start that interview with her right now. She is ready and raring to go. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring her on now. Rijole.
Thank you for having me, Imani. This is the first time, and it's a pleasure to be here today to share what I know about the English system and how parents can support the children at home and take their children to the next level into succeeding. My background is in teaching. I'm a primary school teacher. I was brought up in Spain, and so I can speak Spanish fluently. I came to the UK nearly 10 years ago, and since then I've been involved in education within the state school and also within community groups and grassroots organizations. And I see that there is a need for the community to get more involved in children's education.
Really, can you, before we go further, can you just, the clip we just played, can you tell us a little bit about what you know about those children and how that would fit in with what we're about to
what I know about that,
today?
about those children, that success story is, I would say that is thanks to having parents that are heavily involved in their children's education, parents that are not intimidated or don't follow what the state or the national curriculum would expect of a 9-year-old child. Wow. They've taken the decision of going a step further to the point that they're making the news.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes,
isn't it?
imagine that all the parents did that. Probably will be talking about the government will have to change the national curriculum completely.
So really, your take on this is, and obviously I know you're very passionate in speaking to you, that we can help, we can supplement, we can help to with our children's education. We can encourage them, we can coach them.
Of course,
we can do something. What about you know, I know you're doing work with a company. You know, you've got a company called New Mind.
No, I'm working with New Mind in a project, in a 2-week summer program for children.
Oh, right, okay. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, the program is to teach children Spanish and computer coding. Spanish is the second largest spoken language. You have South America, the whole South America, from Brazil and a couple other countries that don't speak it, but you have Spanish there and that part of the world, and also you have a lot of Spanish-speaking communities in North America and also in the UK as well.
So that's a really powerful second language to
Yes, it is.
on.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and not only Spanish, any language is a powerful tool to utilize. And the reason that we've decided to offer Spanish to the community is because I speak Spanish, and computer coding is another subject that is being introduced in the national curriculum as we speak right now.
And the other guest is going to talk on
yes,
that.
Brother Odartei Mohammed from the New Mind School is going to be talking about that because that's his specialism. Yeah.
So with that, with what you're involved in, and because I mean languages, and it's even more than that is what we're going to touch on today. But languages, can you just let people know why it's important to be, you know, multilingual or bilingual? Or
I would say that being bilingual, having the ability to speak more than one language will open you doors. It opens doors to a new culture, a new way of thinking. It's actually a new way of thinking. Every time you speak another language, you have to change the way you think. Absolutely. And it opens, you might think, oh, I don't want to speak another language because I live in this country, but you never know where a language could take you. Yeah. I know for a fact that if you have another language, that you can travel anywhere around the world. If you look at the current situation with the UK, most people complaining about issues like immigration. You have people from Poland, from these other countries, from all over Europe coming into the UK, and I would say that they are fully prepared to come to this country because they speak the language. So that's an advantage. If you don't speak the language, you don't speak another language, where could you go if the economic climate changes or anything or anything like that happens? And I am bilingual myself. When I was growing up, I spoke 2 languages already, and when I started school, I started learning a 3rd language.
Can I just ask you, Rijole, do you think that opens up your sort of more brain cells and makes things a lot easier when you, because it's like if you can speak one language, then you can speak another language on top. Doesn't that kind of expand?
Yes, it does expand. I agree with that. And for instance, Spanish is within the group of Latin languages, and I find that if I wanted to speak, when I look at French words or Portuguese words or Italian words, or even when I hear it, I feel that I can actually understand a little bit of what they're saying, because there's some of the words are quite similar, And even when I was starting to learn English, I always look for those familiar patterns that could actually help me to learn quicker as well.
Wow. So it does make a big difference. It's not just learning a language, it's going to make a difference to you in how you think.
Yeah.
And is that something as well? All these, as you're talking, all these things are coming out. Do you think it helps children to think more than just consuming knowledge? Do you think it actually makes them think as well as being very good at storing information?
When I look at the children that I have been teaching, the good thing about teaching language is that all the children, regardless of their ability, they are all at the same level. So it becomes very easy and very friendly. Children don't become so intimidated when it comes to learning, because everyone's got a chance to show their own ability and skill. Obviously, you have children that learn quicker than others, but that's not, let's say, that doesn't inhibit other less able children to contribute to the class.
So this can be like it can bring them together.
Yes, it really does, more than subjects like English and maths, because as you know, when the teacher has to teach English or maths, they have to actually differentiate and divide the class according to their ability. Yes, yeah.
So this really is like an equality thing.
Yes, it is. And it's also much easier to teach. Personally, I feel that it allows the teacher to be more creative. There's no so many restrictions as to what and how you should do it. And there's a big network of teachers that do more than foreign languages, and the way they feedback on each other is amazing. It's very good. And
we know that children learn very well when they're in a creative environment.
Yes, it is.
Rather than a very rigid. Sort
yes.
of, yeah. So that's fantastic. What made you go into education?
Well, what made me go into education was it was love for languages, and in particular English at that time, and also children. I've always I'm the eldest for five children.
I'm the eldest of 6. Yes, it does give you a certain
it's like you feel like children. You feel like the mother of all of the children, and yes, English was the reason I came to education, because I didn't speak a language back then. I didn't speak a language outside of Spain.
Of your Spanish, yeah.
So that was a good
Wow. So now you are teaching Spanish primarily. Is that can we say, is that what we should say, or?
I wish. Unfortunately, if children have the opportunity to learn languages, it's not really up to let's say the parents or the teachers themselves. Right. It comes from the management of the school. So yes, so
we have to get past management.
Yeah, so if the head teacher or the management don't see the need or cannot fit it in, they will sacrifice more than foreign languages. And unfortunately, that happens in a lot of schools, where still children to this day, they don't have the exposure to another language is very limited, very limited.
So that's something that, again, you want to be able to. Are you then wanting to do this outside of that and bring sort of workshops and what have you together? Is that sort of your goal? Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
With parents, where obviously they're excited and listening to this. When is the best time to how young can you start a child on a second language?
I think anytime. Yeah.
So new baby still walking.
Anytime. You start with songs. Songs are the easiest way to start.
That's something I really that's interesting, because that's one of the things I wanted to. So like little ideas. So what you're saying is people should think outside the box.
Yeah, you have the internet. The internet, especially YouTube, offers a lot of songs for children that are actually free to learn. There's nothing attached to it, and you have also websites that can give you ideas. That have ideas for teachers and parents as well.
Have you got any, we'll obviously come to that at some point, you know, websites where people can go and learn, and obviously you're going to give your contact details. In fact, I think we should probably start giving that now. Do you want to, let me just see, what have I got? Your Facebook, what's the best one to give? Shall I give the...
If the school one, the ATL Learning Centre.
Okay, so if you go to Facebook,
yes,
and you type in the ATLL, A for Apple, T for Tommy, L for Lima, Learning Centre. Yeah. There's a lot of things there about what we're talking about today.
Yes,
yes. Yeah. Do we need to give the New Minds School link as well?
Yes.
Have you got an email that they can contact you on?
Yes, I do have an email for the ATL Learning Centre, which is info@TATLLC.
Okay, I'll just repeat. T for Tommy, A for Apple, T for Tommy, L for Lima, C for Charlie.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope you got that, and you know, it's really important that you get in touch with Rijole, and you know, she can really explain and give you ideas. And as you can see, I think language now is something, because when hearing you say that, I'm thinking, yeah, because it's not just any subject. It's specific languages will help the children on a high level.
It actually makes learning easier. I think it makes learning easier. Your brain is getting used to it also allows children making comparison between languages, and the teachers just have to do that. I've witnessed that where children, that sounds like this word in Polish. That sounds like this word my language. So they can the children can actually make connections with their own mother tongue if they have one, if it's different than English, and even with the English itself.
Yeah. So that's very and obviously, you know, we are people from the continent, but we're now we're the diaspora people, and we've got to make this work where we are. We've got to enjoy, and we've got to be able to make the most of ourselves. And if we can get more languages, especially for our children, because the market's changing, isn't it?
Yeah, the market's changing.
It's not very it's going to be a whole new mindset, isn't it?
Yes.
And I believe as well, children growing up are going to have to enjoy learning.
Definitely.
It's not enough to say I studied so many years ago.
Yeah. It's all about being multi-skilled. Children and adults as well, they have to learn a different skill. It's not about being caught up in your 9 to 5. Well, if you want to do your 9 to 5, you have to look at professional development.
So you're constantly having to upgrade your learning, your abilities, yourself, and teach the children as well to do that. Yeah,
definitely. Learning never stops, because the moment you stop learning, it's like you start slowly falling behind, and it's not a nice feeling.
So, I mean, with this question here, I really just wanted to ask. I just wanted you to I know you're kind of gone there really, but what if the parents do have this input in their children's lives? What will it do? What can we kind of say what they will get, what the children are going to be like, and some idea, so that they kind of motivated to do so. And we'll talk about where they can start, and
so you mean how parents can motivate their children?
Yeah, and people might be, but I don't. Do I have to learn a language? Do I have to learn?
I see. It would be good, because you can then become your child's study partner. So you begin a journey together.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
So it's not like you're actually pushing your child, say, hey, there you go, stay behind because I'm too old.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? It's not do as I say, do it as well.
Yes,
children do tend to do as they see. And like you just said there, what is too old? If you have children and you want to lead them.
You're never too old to learn. Imagine that you live 100 years and you're in your 40s and your 50s. That's 40 years that you've spent just sitting down there saying, I'm too old for anything. I'm too old. No.
And I really believe that is what eventually leads to the brain, because it's a muscle, isn't it?
Yes.
And if we don't use it, we're definitely going to lose it like any other muscle.
Definitely.
So you would definitely encourage do something. You know, you could start by, like you say, sit down with the children, watch YouTube clips.
Yes, the YouTube, and also you have, if you go to your local library, there are sections in the library where you have bilingual books, and I'm not sure if there are books that are actually the talking books that in another language where you can actually hear it. But London is so diverse, even so diverse. So you might be, your child might be in a classroom where there are children that speak other languages. If you got a good relationship with the parents of those children, you might start relationships. Say, look, I want my child to learn this language. I know that you speak this language. How could we do it so my child can also learn your language as well? So
basically what you're asking parents or suggesting to parents that, you know, instead of being isolated on your own thinking, oh, how can I help little Johnny or little Sue, you know, you can come together. So, you know, like people could start like a, I don't know, like a book club.
Like language club, and I'm sure that most schools will welcome that because schools want parents to get involved. Schools really want that.
Okay, so parents are sitting at home thinking, I've got work, I've got, you know, all these different things to do, I've got to put food on the table, I've got to pay the rent, the mortgage, you know, all these, I can't see how much more time I'm going to get out of my one little day.
Well, that is true, but the reality is that not all parents are in that situation. Most parents just take their children to school, and then throughout the day they actually do very little. And if you have time, at least half an hour, I'm sure that everyone has at least a spare half an hour somewhere, to pick up a book, invite some children, arrange a little, gather around and read a book and play some songs and some instruments. I don't think that takes a lot of your time, I would say.
So that's like creating an extended family. And as well, people don't necessarily live close to their family like they did, say, years ago. So it's like coming together. So, and children love to do things together, don't they? Rather than if you're sitting there just with your child, or you know.
I see that there are certain groups of people that do it. I know that in my local area there's a group of it's a group called whippersnappers. So what they do is
could you say that again for us?
Whippersnappers. Whippersnappers. So what they do, they operate in South London, and what they do, they provide a circle time for parents and their toddlers and babies to come along and just start singing and playing the drums and doing drama and doing acting. You know, so getting the parents engaging and communicating with their children.
Because children are like, they're sort of these little, you know, they're like little spirits in forms, aren't they? They want to do everything. And I suppose as well, it's about parents, you know, using that energy and maybe cutting something else out. Maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe that half an hour chat on the phone or in front of, you know.
It's also about prioritizing. If you put your child at the top of the list,
have a vision for your child.
That's it.
So by having a vision, it's going to be much easier to set the goals that you want for your children, and you can work together with them, is what I'm hearing. Is that right? So where would they start with that vision? Actually, can I just read out this text? I just want you to know that people are listening and enjoying it. So this is from Jimbo. Great show and information, Imani. Your guest is very good. Enough love. So I don't know if you want to say anything to Jimbo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So as you were going to, what sort of things would you say?
You know, that's, even though I find that question difficult to answer, because when you have a child, even before you have the child, you have to have that vision even before that child is born.
You know what? That is, you know, definitely it's a good, and
because it's very difficult for someone with no vision to have a child and then become all of the sudden having clear vision. I really find that hard to comprehend.
Right. Okay, hold on. I've got another text here from Silla. Silla says the children are the future, so it's important we educate them so they can navigate around the world. Loving the show. Thank you, Silla. We're loving you sending these fantastic texts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Yeah, I mean, I just feel as though
that is something that actually worries me a lot.
We need to go there. We need to go right.
Yeah.
But you know what I will say to you, and you know I'm going to put myself there as well. It isn't always. Not everybody starts with their vision before they have their children.
Yeah, it's true.
So okay, so let's look at the way it should be done for, say, someone who's sitting, you know, young people, and you know where they can start, and then we'll also look at, you know, what you can do if you didn't start with a vision, and you know you're kind of muddling through, and you really want to, you know what you want for your child, and you want to start creating goals in the future now. So a new person thinking about their children, what they want for the future is what you're saying.
I think that the easiest or way to start would be to provide a healthy environment for your child. You want an environment with there's no ups and downs in terms of emotion. Everything is stable, so your child is in a safe and peaceful environment.
Because we're going to talk about special schools and things like that, and emotional. So what you're saying, emotions is a big. The children need to have a really good, stable, emotional household, which is going to stabilise them. Self-esteem, I presume, is going to come from that, and it's very important. So it's really about starting as you mean to go on, and set your goals based on the vision that you have long. So it's about knowing the outcome you want for your children in advance.
That's it. And also ask yourself, how are you going to achieve that as well? If you have, if you want, for instance, you want your child to be a doctor, so maybe a good way to start is buying biology books.
Can I just ask you something about that? Supposing you want dreams, say you have dreams that maybe you haven't fulfilled, and you want the child to be a doctor, but the child wants to do something else. What would you say would be your, what would be your advice to that parent who might be sitting at home saying, yeah, I would like that, but my child seems to be involved, they have a passion for this other thing?
Well, I know of cases where the parents have agreed to say to the parent, I will pay you what you want, but you have to do what I want first.
Wow.
And that's I've heard about situations like that where the parent wanted the child to be a doctor, and the child wanted to be an actor. So what the parents said to him, you do the career, we pay you, you pay, but you have to do this first. So if that doesn't happen, you still got plan B.
That is fantastic, because I had a young man sitting in that chair last week who said exactly that. He wanted to be a personal fitness person with nutrition, and his parents wanted him to follow his educational. So they made that agreement, and he became a chartered accountant, and he's now living his passion as a bodybuilder and nutritionist. So what you've just said there is so fantastic, because that's exactly what that's what he came up with as well. So really it's about working with your children, but also having a sort of plan B for them. So it's not saying we don't want you to do acting or these more sort of artsy types of things, but do that, but at the same time make sure you've got your because we do live in the real world. Is what you're saying, is what I'm hearing, and you have to cover that as well, just in case. So fantastic. So what about single parents? What can single parents do? Because I myself was a single parent at some stage, bringing up my daughter many years ago, and it's not easy, especially you've got so many hats that you're wearing.
It's not easy at all. And I would say to single parents to network with other single parents. Don't stay in isolation, because even though we live in London, they have many people in London, but the level of isolation that some parents suffer, I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Because
you can get caught up with just being in the evening, isn't it? You've got to get them ready, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and the evening's gone. And also your family have to be supportive as well. What happens as well, maybe your family doesn't want anything to do with you because you made the wrong decision, and the family just, instead of going through that, they actually go against you, and then so you are because on your own. They don't want you to make the continued mistake. I think so. It's like a tough love. It's like, okay, you made your bed,
Yeah, but still, the family, no matter what mistake that person has done, they have to be there for the child's sake.
Yeah, yeah. Because, as Scylla said, the children are our future.
Yeah.
And it's so. And this is the thing I wanted to touch on as well. Grandparents and, you know, the wider extended family.
Yeah.
How can people get together with their, you know, their family and get them, you know, get them back in? Because it's like, we're not, you know, it's that thing of it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
It doesn't take one person or even two parents, not even just the two parents. It can sometimes mean you need more people.
I think parents, if you got a view of how you want your child to be brought up, you need to let your family know as well.
That's true.
And if your family or certain family members don't agree with that way of you bringing your child, sadly, you'll have to move away from them. Because if they're going to be working, it's sad.
Really, that's tough, isn't it?
It's sad because I know of people that have taken the decision of either going homeschooling their children, and because taking a decision like that, family don't want anything to do with them. They're a bit outcast, and it becomes a politics. And if you cannot find family members that are like-minded, and they are not going to be working your best interest, maybe for your child's sake, not have them around in that context of education. I'm not saying forget about them. I can visit and you can do the social life and social aspect of that family life, but maybe at that educational level, probably don't get them so involved, because they might actually influence negatively on your child.
Wow.
Yeah, that's,
you know, you just mentioned homeschooling. I wasn't aware that you could homeschool in this country. I know you can in some states in America, but I didn't know we could homeschool here. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's correct. I've met a few families that do homeschooling. There's some rules though, and the basic rule is that the local authorities, they need to know that you are homeschooling your child, and what happens then is that you have regular visits with they will assess your child.
What is the requirement of the parents? What would they need? Would they need any special skills or education?
No, they don't actually.
Really?
They don't. You don't need to be a teacher to teach. So, yes, it's just, you know, a teaching degree is just a paper. It's just, I think for parents, it's just the passion of seeing your children succeeding. Or maybe a parent is not happy with the way some of the children out there are coming out of school, how prepared they are, you know, and some parents are doing a great job. I would say I don't know of any case where a child that has been homeschooled has failed or is not. They are very highly successful.
Wow. And people can start anytime they, you know, say somebody's sitting down listening to that and thinking, you know, homeschooling.
I think homeschooling it needs to be taken seriously. There has to be a commitment. It's not something that you can pick up and then let go and then pick up again. There has to be a commitment. It could happen that your circumstances change, and then you decide I can no longer afford this, so I need to go back to work, or I haven't got anyone that I can actually take over me when I have to go out and do some hours too. Yeah, so there has to be a commitment.
There's to be a commitment. Fantastic. But you know, I think that is because I wasn't aware that you could do that in this country. So that's really something really interesting.
I think the best people to talk about that is the parents that are homeschooling homeschooling themselves, because I know of families that are doing, but I'm not a specialist in that area.
But you know it's happening.
It's legal.
And
it's legal to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hear that, people, kings and queens? Anyone out there who feel I'd like to, you know, take matters into my hands and teach my children? It's possible. It's legal, and it's here where we are. We can do it. So, you know, what I want to ask you next really is, what's your take on the media, peer groups, and celebrities on the minds of our children?
Well, I think you have positive and negative, but even that statement, having positive roles and negative roles, that's based on my opinion, because I might look at an how you call it, performance, say, oh, this is a very positive role model, and then I go a young person sitting next to me saying that's rubbish.
So what you might think, yes, this is good for you,
and they might say no, that is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, because you have to take into consideration that age gap there, you know, and even so we cannot pretend or impose on our children what we want for them.
But say children are, you know, because actually, to be honest, I think it starts with what maybe they're watching, but but as well, like you were talking about, maybe certain families members who might be, and maybe friends as well.
Yeah,
you know, you might have a friend next door you want, and maybe they're looking at things that maybe
like that.
You wouldn't.
I would, you know, that's a tricky one. But one thing could be to actually don't have certain TV channels at home. Like block them.
I would say probably just don't tune it.
Yeah, or don't have TV at all, and expose your child maybe to music, to natural music, piano lessons, guitar lessons. Teach your child to make his own music. I think children will find more. Yes. I think it's more rewarding than just sitting down and putting those headphones on, and children will like to. That more because it will allow them to express their own creativity as opposed to someone else's, and someone else normally it fits into someone's agenda, so and it's dangerous.
And that's something where what you're saying is people can come together. So say there's several families in your neighbourhood, you could come together, and if one parent is maybe, say there's a lady who's at home most of the time, she can do all maybe get the costumes together and then put on little shows with all the children. So, you know, I'm just thinking with what you've said, how that could work, and they could.
Yes, it works.
Someone might play the instrument, teach them.
Yeah, before that, even that, you have to establish a close relationship with people. You have to feel people first, because I wouldn't recommend just
just running into any old person. Yeah, you're my next door neighbour. Come along. You know, no.
But funnily enough, when I look at the playground in the mornings, I see all the black parents, especially the black mans, running around with the buggies, and then I see all the white women talking to each other. Yeah, so I find that very bizarre. So because what I find is that most of the networking, especially, happens within the kind of wide middle class, talking about where can they take their children and things like that. And then for the black parents, it's a complete different stories. I was mentioning to you earlier the whippersnapper thing.
Yes.
When it first started, it was more wide middle class people coming there. And the lady that was actually leading the group, she was telling me, I love these people. This is not the target group that we want. We want a more cultural, more multi.
Bring in.
Yes. Yeah, we want a reflection of the community in this. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is we need to network better.
Yes.
So when we go
I really do. Yeah.
So mothers, if a black mother see another black mother, somebody should strike up a little conversation.
Yes, like let's go to the cinema, let's go to the woods, let's go here. So that it's basically.
Do you think we're judging each other too
Pardon?
much? Do you think maybe people are thinking, oh, I can't go up, or because we, you know,
I think the relationship is there. Is that what is the outcome of that relationship? What's
Again,
it? Are we just good morning? How are you? Or you know what happened to this person? You know what happened the other day?
The gossip,
what is the substance of that relationship as well?
Because you know the sisterhood. This is a thing that is very important because it's the women. That are rocking the cradle. And we do need to get on. We do need to love each other. We need to engage.
Yeah, and when you look at Africa, for instance, when you look at the village and the community, it's mainly the women that create that circle for protect the children. Here in the UK, unfortunately, I haven't seen that circle of women that do that.
People are sort of isolated.
Yeah, it's very me. Maybe because of fear of being seen. I need help. And what would people say about me? Maybe they would say I'm a bad mother because I'm asking for help, or I don't know what it is.
So people are not looking at the opportunities; they're looking at the negative side of it. And really, what you're saying, just maybe people have to take a chance, and I just think that women do need to come together, especially black women.
Yeah, especially
we do need to come together.
Yeah, you have a lot of single households of black women out there,
and that we need to look at the difficulties of that, but then do something positive with that.
Yeah,
because if all these women can come together, It will be absolutely amazing, and it will make a difference to the children yet again. Okay, so really, like what you're saying there is children are going to choose their own people to follow. But what about parents being the role models? How can a parent compete with celebrities, the media, and the peer group? How can a parent, become the role model for their children? Is that even possible?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible. My role model is my mum. In that sense, in the aspect of, in the sense that she was always there providing for us, and even though there were times where there was not much food on the table, I never noticed that because my mother was always singing. She always had time for us. Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's about letting the children know that you are their first priority. Let the children know that the children are your first priority.
Yes. And don't make them feel like guilty or just. I think it's a tough one, but you are the role model. You have to make yourself look appealing to your own children. So a lot of positive thinking will have to go into that, how the way you talk to your children as well, because if you are positive, if you put positive thoughts into your children's mind, they will think positively as well.
I love that, because this whole show, when I kind of came together doing this radio show, it's all about personal development, all about positive. And what I'm hearing you say is so fantastic, because personal development starts from birth, really, doesn't it? So it's about feeding your children positive thoughts, nutritious thoughts for the mind.
And in relation to education, I think if the parents have a positive maybe experience with education, the children will see that as well.
That's very interesting as well. So again, going back to don't do as I say, do as I do. So you go out and learn something that maybe you weren't, you've put on the back burner. Go and learn something, show them.
And also having a good relationship with your children at school will help as well.
Being on the committee, what's the
governors, chair of governors. Being the governors, part of the
How
governors.
easy is that for people? How would they just, how would they go about that if they're sitting at home?
To become a governor, you have to be, the school normally advertises. Yes, if there's any vacancies there's normally staff governor, the head teacher governor, other agencies governor, but there are parent governors there. They have to be by law. So if there's something available, normally the schools put it out there and the parents have to apply.
Would you say that in your 9 years, is that right, of teaching, would you say that you're noticing that it's more and more important that people get involved in PTA and all these different things, more than, say, even many years ago?
Yes, they have to get involved in that, and also maybe try to start their own little projects outside the school as well. Or maybe you can present the idea to the school and see how they feel about it. But maybe if the idea is not so receptive, there's nothing that stops a parent from a start to make it happen in themselves.
So starting maybe in one's home, somebody in their home.
And also there are funds that allows you to as an individual to start little projects.
Tell us about that.
Yes, you have awards for all as well.
What, sorry?
Awards for all.
Awards
for all. Yes, they actually, you have to have a project, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
And you have to have a group of people behind you. But it's as simple as that. Having the constitution, having the requirements, filtering in with the criteria, telling them what you want to do and what's the outcome. I think
well, that sounds fantastic. Kings and Queens, I'm sure you'd agree. I mean, being able to get very much involved in your children's school and work with the educators, and also there could be some funding for your own ideas of what you would like your children to be learning.
Even the school might think, oh, this is a fantastic idea, we're going to back you up.
And you can use the school facilities.
Yes.
Wow.
But you have to have a very good relationship with the schools, and also the schools have to share your vision. I know that there are certain challenges out there, and that some schools are very reluctant to work with certain community members, unfortunately.
But would you say people should just keep trying? Because sometimes you try one plan and it doesn't work, so you just keep, because your end goal and your vision is filled. So there might be another way to get around it.
Yes, there's always.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give
Definitely
up.
don't give up.
Okay. I think we should give these shout outs as people here who wants us to just let them know that they're watching listen to the show. You have Jen the Blackest, and then you've got Nigel Beckles. Hello Nigel, how are you? Can't wait to have you on the show. Nubian Baby, Troy Ruddock, Makeda Love. Makeda, thank you so much for your support. Love you. Michael Nomo, Ezzy Smalls, and Sonia Dixon says, good, positive show.
Thank you.
They're loving your ideas and what you have to say. And, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like making notes and really feeling that, you know, definitely you've got some great ideas there that people can utilise. Right. What I'd like to do is I'd like to play a couple of songs, just break up the energy. So we're going to do that, but again, I just want to say one of the things I would like to say to you, kings and queens. Rijole has come from really far to do this show for us today. She's come from the other side of London, so I really appreciate that she's doing this for us. And as you can hear, her energy is so positive. She's so warm. She's so lovely, and you know, she's sharing so much with us. So we are going to play some a couple of songs maybe, and see just get the energy flowing. Yeah. So we're going to do that in a minute. We're going to play a song anytime now. So, and then we're going to come back and we are going to continue the questions with Rijole, and also we hope by that time the other guest, her partner in how can we say this really? How would you? Yes, he's sort of
collaboration.
Your collaborating partner is going to come on board and give his take on the more sort of IT aspect. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and share how children can enjoy that and be part of that. So we're gonna do that. We're just getting our technical stuff ready, and then we're gonna see. No? Yeah. Okay. Right. It's coming on any minute now.
I'm on this land, I trouble no one. My desire is to make no problem with no one. None interference, none political. No matter what you do, I see I'm blind and here and there. I'm an humble African, passing through Babylon. I'm an humble African. I'm on this land, I trouble no one. My desire is to make no problem with no one. None interference, none political. Humble African. I'm on this land, I trouble no one. My desire is to make no problem with no one. None interference, none political. No matter what you do, I see I'm blind and here and there. I'm an humble African, passing through Babylon. I'm an humble African. Trouble no one, say I'm an humble African. Some said I'm a Rasta man, I'm an humble African. These little hands and simple fingers that I have, they were not made to pinch nor tear. You hear? feel. But to move in deeds of kindness, you see, and to fall in thoughts of prayer to help my brother pray for the betterment of his life, yeah. Oh yeah. It's better to have a friend than to need one. It's better to find a friend than to be in need. Lift up your brother, don't you put him down. One and wash the other. Home, go and truck it home. I'm a humble African. I was born to love my brother. I'm an humble African. United I must be. I'm an humble African. No matter what they say, I'm an humble African. My forefather came here from the days of slave. I work until my skin starts to strip. And to every time I speak for my justice, yes, someone always to name me disagreeable still. I pray the day will come when we all have peace and harmony. No more chasing one another without humanity. I pray the day will come that we all share what we have and show the people of the love that we have to give. Let them know I'm an humble African. Nothing but unity inside. I'm an humble African. Just stand for us all, a humble African. Let me beat my drum in a Babylon and a humble African. Yeah, you know who I am, a humble African.
Dream away. Wherever you are, keep on striving for your dream. Just lift your head high, let your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Just know you're a star. Believe that Jah will hear your plea. Just spread your let your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Yeah, change has come. It's time to live life. We gon' hit the club till the morning light. Blissful days, peaceful nights. I'm grateful for it all. I'm in paradise. Can ask for more. Let's celebrate wherever you are. Keep on striving for your dream. Just lift your head high, let your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Just know you're a star. Your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Yeah, storms will come, mountains to climb. All is possible, only you can see the light. Keep the faith, don't give up the fight. It's time to make it last. We'll walk in paradise. Oh, celebrate wherever you are. Keep on striving for your dream. Just lift your head high, let your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Just know you're a star. Believe that Jah will hear your plea. Just spread your wings, let your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Oh na na na, 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 oh na na na. Wherever you are, keep on striving for your dream. Just lift your head high, let your spirit fly. Just dream away, away, away. Just know you're a star. Believe it, Jah will hear your plea. Just spread your wings, let your spirit fly. Dream away, away, away. Oh na na na. Hey, Mr. Music, sure feels good to me. I can't refuse it. What to be, gotta be. Yeah. Feel like dancing, dance 'cause we are free. Yeah. 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 I've got my home in the promised land. I feel like go home. Can't you understand? Na 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 na. Though the road is rocky, sure feels good to me. Feel like dancing, dance 'cause we are free. I've got my home in the promised land. I feel like go home. Can't you understand? Na 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 na. Rainbow country, rainbow country, rainbow country, rainbow country. Yeah, now, rainbow country, rainbow country, rainbow country. Look, hey, Mr. Music, sure feels good to me. I can't refuse it. What to be, gotta be. Yeah. Feel like dancing, dance 'cause we are free. Yeah. I've got my home in the promised land. I feel like go home. Can't you overstand? Na 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 na. Rainbow country, rainbow country, a 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 rainbow country.
So let's do it a little by a little. Rise from your sleepless slumber. Yes, 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 yes. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than number. All together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live now. You see one cocoa full of basket. Already you see live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. One cocoa full of basket. Yeah, yes. Already you see live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. Walk together now. Wake up and live, yeah. Wake up and live. Keep on playing. Yeah, yeah. Break it down. Come on now. How's it feeling over there? Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on now. You gotta wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. Yes. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your dog. Put your dreams.
Hello, Imani's back, Riole's back, and we also have Odartei Mohammed in the house. And he's another warm, knowledgeable, wise person who's going to help you understand how you can supplement your children's education. And I'm not going to spend too much time on, I'm going to get him to speak, and he's going to tell us about himself and why he's here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I know you've come from far. We really appreciate it.
It had to be done, my name is Odartei Mohammed. I'm a head teacher at an independent school in Brixton called New Mind. My background went to universities back in the 80s, and the encouragement of my father, my late father, and which he encouraged of all my brothers and my sister. And I went to study mathematics in Cardiff, and I very much enjoyed what I did there. I got involved with computers, very much like playing around with computers and things. And I came back to London in early 90s, and I did a teacher training course at PGC in London. And then following that, I went into teaching. I went through a lot of, a bit of a metamorphosis in terms of my own development. But to jump a lot of my details, I eventually ended up with the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam started schools in London in the mid-90s. The school started in Stoke Newington, in Brixton, and in the west of London. And I didn't know much about education except what I'd learned through my courses. But like many of the other people I was with, we knew there was a problem. And that problem is that young black children were not getting what they are meant to be getting.
Wow.
So I left university, you know, just wanting to do something, but it seemed to lean into teaching.
Can you just tell us
Yes.
what's your take on what would you say that thing is not getting to our children? What is it that you would say from your perspective is lacking?
I think there's not an emphasis on motivation of young people. They've got a lot of energy. You know, you see it today. You see it with young people, but it's about directing that. I believe there is, you know, with our parents, we are at a loss of what to do, many of us, but there are also aspects about the design of the society as well in directing our children in the wrong way. So the spirit is there, they just need to be fashioned. I remember a little quote I had, somebody gave me a little booklet as a present, one of the students, and it said, children's minds are like wet cement. Whatever you leave on it leaves an impression.
Wow.
And it always stayed on my mind, you know, that everybody is a teacher. If you've got somebody in front of you who's young, impressionable, you're teaching. You may not be saying anything, it just might be your example that's teaching them. Unfortunately, we are in a community where those examples are lacking or distorted.
You know what I wanted to ask
yes.
you? You mentioned the children have a lot of energy.
Yes.
And do you feel that the way children are taught in school, you know, this kind of staccato sort of not utilising the fact that maybe they have a different way of learning, maybe even whole body learning.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? Because that positive energy is being going in a negative direction.
I think we all have to admit that we're on a planet where the knowledge, wisdom and understanding, we've only dipped a pin in the sea of what the human potential is. And the great learners, the great historians and educationists of this world, of the UK, are also struggling, if they would admit it. There are so many ways to teach a child. I had a young man come to visit me some years ago, and he showed me some techniques, and we never fully embraced them, but he knew what he was talking about tapping, and just getting children to tap. You may have seen Aquila and the Bee. There's a particular film where Lawrence Fishburne was teaching a young girl to get her spellings right, and you know, she was tapping herself. There's a relevance in that.
Wow,
there are so many different ways, and I think what you said about the body and children need to be outside more. I'm talking to myself now, and you know, there's the classroom cannot just be the four walls.
Just sitting
it has
there
to be
with the
outside.
board there,
They have to do much more, and so I would submit to you that I'm still learning, but I think you hit it on the nail. There's so much we have to be doing outside of the chalk and talk.
So you more or less, I was going to ask you why you got into education, but you obviously, because of the passion, and you saw a need and you thought, I want to be part of that change.
Yes. One particular thing, when I was at school, I went to school in Peckham. Anybody who knows Thomas Carlton School, back in the 80s, I was there. And I just, when I was at university, I was looking back at, you know, how I could do things better. And it's just come on from there, you know. I can't really give a full science to it. It's where I fell into. And I very much like being in front of children and demonstrating something and seeing it in their eye when they understand, not just, because I remember being at one of my colleges and there was a lady who was teaching me. I didn't understand what she was saying. She was really doing her best, but I deceived her because I just kept on nodding.
Because that can happen.
You know, and I bear that in mind today, because when children nod to me, I don't take that. I've got to know that you know, because I know what I did to just get, you know, to get the lecture out of my way. I'm really struggling with economics, but I'll nod, and if I nod, you'll stay away from me. And if you stay away from me, then that's peaceful for me.
So it's
and I needed somebody to interrupt me.
So it's important for the children, for you to hear from the children that they're understanding you.
Yes, yes. And there's a certain look, there's a certain, I mean, obviously you've got to look at children's work, get involved with what they're writing, get them to come up to the front, get them to demonstrate. It's nothing like a demonstration.
Wow. You know what I would like to say? I just want to read this text out. Great show, sister. Good music and lively show. Keep up the positive vibes, Queen. And that's from Winsome. So she's enjoying the show.
Thank you.
She's enjoying the show. What I'd like you to do is really just just take, because I asked earlier the lovely Rijole, what was her thoughts on parents helping and supplementing alongside the teachers and the educators like yourself? What would you like to see parents do that would actually make a big difference?
I think taking the time, I mean, this is very cliche, everybody's busy these days, but it is to cut some time out.
Yes.
To cut out something. Something has to go. Something has to go with, you know, maybe some leisure time, the TV time. Something has to go. It doesn't have to be that you're sitting down with the books. It may be some time away from the books to actually sit down and speak about school, speak about what's going on. Yes. Because it could be that which is missing as well. But it's about cutting out that time, and I think that's one we are all struggling with, but it has to be done.
What I'd like to talk to you about is you're involved in the holiday, summer holiday, leisure and things for children to do.
Yes.
And I would love you to talk about that to our listening audience.
Okay.
So,
last year we ran a program called COFI, Coding Orientation for Innovation. It's computer programming. There's quite a renaissance of this aspect of education in the UK and in the States. Most recently, the Education Secretary here, Mr. Gove, has implemented computer programming in the curriculum, and it's something we've been doing in the school for about 2.5 years, on and off.
Because that's a big part of the future for
definitely
the education, isn't it? It's not going to go away.
No, no. I think many countries, even in Eastern Europe, you know, they have competitions on coding and breaking into things. You know, there's this kind of lots of aspects which we are not aware of. So what we're doing, myself and Sister Rijole,
yes,
we're going to run a workshop this coming summer for 2 weeks, where we'll have some computer coding and some Spanish tuition. And with the computer coding, my particular side of things, it's about getting children to decipher codes, make things happen on a screen.
Wow.
Not just use Mr. Gates' Microsoft utilities and his tools, but try and make things like them.
So they could become the future Mr. Gates and
absolutely
what's
Zuckerberg,
Steve Jobs?
Yes,
wow.
All those
I love
people.
that.
I remember being at school in the 80s, and back then I could take a little ZX Spectrum, if anybody knows what they are. I could take them home for £1 at the weekend. And I used to play around on them, and it was this great fun to make a sound happen, make something move on the screen. Everybody's got a mobile phone these days, and everybody's producing apps. But if you actually go online and Google, you'll see that there's a lot of young people getting involved with trying to create their own apps.
You know, I can see young people just loving something like that, because what you're talking about is they're already doing this, but you're taking it to the next level.
Absolutely. It's about writing something, not just being a consumer of the products which are out there. You know, it's about set steps of instructions, make something go up, make it turn left, turn right, make it change colour. But there are some codes behind this, and it's, you know, it's something everybody can do. It's enjoyable.
The children that you're working with who are using this, maybe in the pilot scheme or what have you, what are you noticing about them in terms of their confidence and?
It's funny because there's a particular language I've been using. It's available free on the internet called Small Basic, and there's another program called Scratch, which is a very child-friendly program for creating.
Honestly, you know what, listeners, kings and queens, I'm taking notes. This is so brilliant. Again, you know, we talked about language from Rijole, and now you're bringing in sort of the physical, and you know, like they're doing things, they're making things, they're creating. Yeah,
definitely. And I can't keep them off the programs now.
Can imagine.
And obviously, they always want to find a way to get onto the games, but the Small Basic programs in particular, I've been showing them just short codes of how to make things happen on the screen, and they've been going home, coming back to say that I've been working with such and such, or I've done such and such.
Wow.
So that's been positive. You know, it's just still in the pilot stage at the moment, but we have been doing things on and off for a good 2 years. How
can people get involved in this? How can the community here on listening, how can they get involved in that?
Right, well, we have a website, newmindschool.org, that's all one word, newmindschool, and we've got some details of the COFI course on there.
And that's COFI spelt
C-O-F-I. FI. But if they just go to the website itself, then the summer program will be on there, and it will detail how they can get in contact with us. The financial side of it as well. It is obviously a charging workshop, but we want everybody to contact us. Don't let that money be a barrier. But you know, we do want to be able to involve everybody as best we can. So just go to the website.
And it doesn't matter where you live in London.
Last year we had children attend from Harlesden, and we're in Brixton.
Oh, that's...
And I think the first people we had registered on the programme were from Harlesden, and they came down. They were there by about 9:15 each day.
And I'm sure when it was time to go home, you know, they weren't ready. You probably say.
Yes, it's one of those things where everybody's ready to just stay on, you know, and you have to push people out here.
So when you do this, really, are you both there doing? You're doing the languages. You're doing. Wow. So they're getting, you know, the two in one. Right. I have to read out some names, people who are listening to the show, just to let you know that people are enjoying it. Alicia Trafford, Paula Penn, Spencer Michaels, Eamon Hotep, sorry, I beg your pardon, Hotep, Priestess, this is the writing, it's not you, Refratari, George Athaway and Linton Joseph, all enjoying the show and wanting to share, wanting to let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, just before you came in, we were going to touch on special needs, children with special needs. Can children with special needs get involved in what you're doing?
Yes.
Aha.
One of the ways we're going to deliver the coding side of the workshop is to split it up into manageable pieces, so that people who come on board can work at their speed as opposed to a uniform speed of everybody doing the same thing. It's not always possible, and the steps which are needed for certain things, it does take some thinking. I'm always looking on the internet for new things, and that there's certain things I just have to go back to basics. Even reading things which I know, but out of humility I'm saying to myself, I'm going to read this from the beginning again.
Yes.
I'm going to take a dictionary and clear some of these so-called easy words to make sure I'm understanding what I understand. So likewise, for that aspect of the course, if there is some kind of challenge, then by all means we'll speak to parents in advance who are registering their children and see what we can do.
So there's no every child can do this, because my feeling is that every child's got a gift within.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's from what I'm hearing from both of you really, is that you can unlock that by giving them interesting, creative things to do, and let them be part of, you know, teaching them how to think and not just consume.
Absolutely, yes.
Information.
Definitely. Yeah? Research is one of the things about computer coding. You need to get the children to look at some of the terms, look at the manual, and let them read it, point them to it, and as opposed to
so they're learning to think for themselves, and you know, that must boost their confidence.
Absolutely. It is. It's to see the smile on somebody's face when they see something happen. Sounds and movement do a lot. So.
Right. I hear your father. So what is... congratulations, and that's lovely.
Thank you.
How would you say fathers, you know, can be part of, you know, what can fathers do, parents in general, but obviously as a father's perspective, you can, you know, would you say that can really help children to achieve and encourage them to be successful and look at learning in a different way, not as, oh, I'm going to Miss So-and-so's class, I'm going to be, you know, how can parents...
Well, I mean, I give lots of personal examples. I mean, I have a daughter, but obviously I teach children, young boys and young girls as well. So I'm in loco parentis, as they say, during the day. So you know, do a lot of father. You know, I'm a father figure in that sense.
Of course, yeah.
And I do give examples from my own experience of school, positive and negative. But whenever I give the negative, I give it with a certain clarity, so that, you know, you don't want your children falling into the same things you've fallen into.
So you give them sort of like something that make them think, oh, I don't want to go in that direction.
Yes, definitely just examples of what is happening. I walk with my daughter home, and she's always asking me questions, and we start. It's a lesson all the way home. So you know, I'm not going to give any to all the fathers out there and the mothers, but the fathers in particular. I'm sure I'm preaching to many of the converted out there. But that's what I do. I like to give examples, and I'm always saying to my daughter, you need to do such and such, because some of the things you've seen on the way home can be addressed through education. You know, not. And I do like to direct children away from judging what they see. That's very important.
Yes.
So when if there are circumstances of a person in front of your children who, you know, not acting the right way, gone off the rails, then you know, it's education. I'm not talking about education in the classroom. It's education in the broadest sense. And you know, this is not the way to go, and this is what can happen. But not to get them to look down on people.
Because that's really
crucial.
What you say, because if children look down on people, they will feel, you know, they'll grow up thinking these people, rather than how can I help these people to be better members of society.
Absolutely. It's check the mirror out every day, and I think we all do that.
The internal one, not just
you know, we can move with a proper perspective of keeping out of judgmental, which is our community are pretty good at it sometimes.
This show is primarily about personal development, and obviously you both fit the criteria so well. What's your take on, you know, positive, you know, teaching children and affirmations, and how to, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we start each day with prayer. I think prayer is important. It's something which should be included in all schools. Every school on the planet should have some dedication to the Supreme Being, the Creator, by whatever name our viewers, your viewers, know him by, or her by in terms of their expression, if it's an African expression, Islamic expression, Christian expression. Let our children know that there is a power greater than them, and we dwell in that universe, and we should give thanks. We've never seen our heart, but it's there. We've never seen our lungs, but they're there, they're working. And these are great truths that our children should know prior to us going into the A+B and all of the maths and English. So I think, you know, starting the day like that, and but annotating our day with prayer or some form of dedication, be it to our ancestors or not.
Really, what's your thoughts on that, and why do you think it should, you know, tell people why, you know, you feel that will make a difference? What is it that it does?
I think it's like an affirmation. It puts your mind into the perspective as to what is it that I need to do for the day, what's the attitude that I need to have before embarking on a task, and what's the relationship that I need to have with people around me to accomplish that task as well.
Very important.
So you're setting your day up in advance, and you're inviting positive forces to help you along your day.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. What I want to ask you, who are your role models? Who would you say is your role model? I asked really earlier on, who's your role model?
My late father is definitely a role model of mine. It's funny, I was looking into an image today, and I saw my reflection, and I immediately actually saw him for the first time in me. And you know, I'd always seen pictures of him, but actually, I said, that's actually him.
This is,
just a physical glance. It's funny, I just thought I'd mention that. But before I came into education in terms of doing a teacher training course, I came into the Nation of Islam. And the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan is absolutely a great role model for me. I first heard him in '91, I believe, and then in '92 I was getting more involved with activities in London, and a great source of inspiration.
Are you still very much involved in the?
Yes, I am to this day.
Wow! So can you just, you know, a few minutes just to talk about, you know, what's going on there, and
yes,
again, how this can help children?
Yes, certainly. Many of the viewers will know that the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan was banned from the UK in 1986. I believe it was 85 in which he actually came to the UK. He couldn't actually make it through the airport at the time. And since that time, the Nation of Islam has, you know, started to bud back then. It's grown now, and it's, you know, we have been involved in so many community activities, and we are to this day. We put on conferences, weekly meetings, and there are brothers and sisters involved in self-development who go out and promote that. And that includes education, that includes health, spirituality, and as myself and Sister Rijole has done, causing collaborations between different organisations and communities. And that can only be good for education.
I'm not a part of the nation, but I'm working together with the New Mind School in order to achieve, for the benefit of the children. We have a common ground, which is the children, and everyone, regardless of what background you come from, is our children.
Absolutely, totally agree, totally agree.
So that's the foundation. But education, the Honourable Minister's Farrakhan, for myself, has been a great source of inspiration.
So it's kind of motivated you. It's taken you on many different levels in what you do. Because I mean, obviously, you're the headmaster of a school, so head teacher of a school. So would you say that all this knowledge and all this wisdom from the Nation of Islam is also contributed?
Absolutely.
As well as your family, your father?
Yes, it's a mixture. You know, the bee goes from one flower to another, and everything gets mixed together, and you know, it's great. I mean, I had the pleasure of going to Sister Rijole's school a few weeks ago, and we've met on a number of occasions. So I like to learn from people, and you never stop learning, and that's what we intend to pass on to our children as well.
And that's what we were talking about earlier on, that was that learning has got to be part of our lives, grown-ups as well as children. It's not something you can say, I learned something 10 years ago.
Yes.
You have to keep going with that.
It's essential that I think to slow down, and particularly to say that you've actually learned, you know, you've got to the end of something is probably one of the most dangerous statements you could ever say.
Yes.
You know, to say that, you know, you stop now, I've bought the T-shirt, etc. So
what do you think make people give up on improving and educating themselves? What do you think is behind that, and you know, in your experience?
Sometimes for me, from what I see, there are unresolved matters from one's life sometimes can contribute. If there are particular things, if people have had bad experiences with people, and they get reminders of that while they're on their course of learning, and those are things which tend to can impede people. But it's sometimes that when we go into subjects that we don't actually get the full definition of when we first go in. You know, we need to actually know what geography is about. Geography is about geo, the earth, and graphy, writing or studying. So we sometimes actually have to break down these things we go into, these subjects, and actually look a bit deeper into them, rather than just saying, well, you know, Jane, my sister, did it, I'd like to see what's going on in that as well. But actually go a little deeper, do some personal research. I think these are ways we can clear those cobwebs out so we don't slow down on the course. I remember doing accounting back in the 80s, you know, got onto it, and this, I think it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, this, for the life of me I don't know today, but I just drifted out of it. But today I'm a believer in, even if you don't like a course, at least see some benefit in it, if at least try and get through it, because and get it done.
You've taken time out, you've poured your energy, there must be something you've got from
something. Got to be something. That's what I say. But
Fantastic. Okay, what I'd like to ask you is really, what is your vision for the future of education? Both of you, this question is directed to, because I know you have some.
I would say that my vision, or actually everyone's vision, should be to leave a legacy for the children. At this present moment, I'm reading Booker T. Washington book, and he's talking about how he built the Tuskegee Institute out of like nothing. And he had no money, but he had the passion and the community around him. Community from a regard, not only the black community, all the community involved into making that happen. So I see a teamwork, community spirit coming together to create a legacy that the children can, where children can actually flourish, and maybe have a a school where children later study through the system, through our system, way of teaching, then become teachers in our school, or become the doctors, and all thanks to us. That for me, that is the vision, to say, look, I went to this school thank you for my community, thanks to my community, and this is why I'm going to give back.
Give back. So it's about not even just educating yourself just to get a job, but it's about what can I give?
Yeah. Building the community with your skills, with your all the what you've learned.
I love that. Over to you, young man.
Sister Rijole has hit on it beautifully. I see education as two things. It has two purposes. The first purpose is the edification of the human being, him or herself, as an individual. And then the second purpose is to actually take what you have learned and to give service to others. So likewise, I would like to see us have institutions where our children learn, go out into the wild world, cut out a part for themselves, but also bring that knowledge back to where they started and to give thanks and give service. So that's in a nutshell.
That's absolutely wonderful.
That's what I see.
Wonderful. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to personally, because we're kind of closing this phase, but what would you like to say to people right now?
Well, firstly, I always like to give thanks for community radio stations like yourself, because this is absolutely essential. And just being here makes me realise the importance of having these outlets.
And I have to say, I'm going to chip in right here and say, I would love you two to come back. Would you come back? I know.
Yes,
consider it done.
Yeah,
definitely. Yes. So, but thank you for this. And education is a very important thing. Education, as one particular former Prime Minister said. But it should be everything. It's, once we leave here, we're going to see people teaching. There'll be things happening on the streets. That's teaching people. And if we see it like that, so when we leave home in the morning, parents with our children, the class starts as soon as you're awake, in our example. So it's 24 hours a day, until you're asleep.
So it's not about just seeing it as, right, I'm in the classroom, I'm at the classroom, it's all day long, 24 hours.
Yes. And we have a lot of great street teachers in our youth. We've just got to make sure that they've got the right guidance. There's great rappers out there who can, just by maybe making some amendments to their words and how they refer to women and things like that, who can do some great good.
So it's not about sort of throwing people away and saying, it's about turning them around, redirecting them, saying, no, go in this direction. You have the skills, you just need the direction. Okay. So anything you'd like to say, any gems that you'd like to leave?
I would like to say thank you for listening, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming. I'm so I thank you so much. Wonderful, positive, energized. I just feel really energized and really, I've taken notes, and I know people at home have taken notes, and obviously it speaks for itself. They've really enjoyed, and definitely I really would like you to come back, and we can go more into what's going on. And can we repeat again, if anyone wants to contact you, is there any way they can they contact you, either of you direct, or will everything be on the website?
I'm going to give the mobile number,
please do,
and the landline number and the website.
Please
and the email.
do. Yeah, please do.
Right. Mobile number 07960 691401. That will be direct to myself. Our landline number for the school 0207 733 3975. And the email address is summer@newmindschool.org.
So summer is in the lovely summer time. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And I'm pretty sure you are going to get people, wanting to know what you're doing and come along. So, and is there like a quota? Do you need people? Do you need a number of people, or is it going to be too much people?
Limited spacing.
So they have to act very quickly.
Please, definitely so.
Very quickly.
But we'll be able to take calls as of tomorrow and emails, and we'll try and respond as fast as possible.
That's fantastic.
And I'll make some time. If people send their email address, if they don't reach us, just leave a message on our landline number, and we'll
Can you just quickly say that number one more time?
Yes, certainly. 0207 733 3975, and our mobile, once it is on, 07960 691401.
Really, so are those numbers okay for you as well, or is there a number?
Yes, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this, and I've learnt so much myself. And I just really, I just know that the people listening have gained so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for your wisdom, and thank you for your humility. Honestly, people, they're just lovely, wonderful people. You just know that they've got really good things inside, and very caring for the community. They've travelled right across the London to be here with us. So I really appreciate them. Thank you so much. Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you.
Blessings. Okay, we have another little section that's going to come on right now.
Right.
And we're going to bring over Mr. Hash, who's going to talk to us very quickly about an Haringey sports initiative that is going on, and he's going to come and do that right now. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, honestly, I've really enjoyed this show, and I've really enjoyed speaking to Rijole and Odartei. And as you can tell, they have so much wisdom and so much love, and I just feel really blessed being in their presence. We have something that's going on in health and movement, so exercise. That again, love you. Thank you so much. In exercise, I'm not going to say too much. The gentleman himself is here, and he's going to go through this. He's just going to go through this very quickly because we are limited for time. But I know you need to hear this because, again, like what Odartei and Rijole says, it's a time you've got to get in now, because a lot of the time we have these initiatives come our way and we miss out to other communities. So, Mr. Hash, can you just go straight into your, tell us a little bit about yourself very briefly, and tell us what you're looking for.
Okay, good greetings, listeners. I'm Mr. Hash. I've always been interested in health and sports activities in the community. Through my influence, I've been contacted by the Haringey Council regarding sporting and physical activity for the residents of Haringey in Tottenham. I must be clear, this whole program is for residents of Haringey, which is Tottenham. Basically is, but right now we're very limited of time, so I'm just hitting the key points. But I believe that there's going to be another setup that will come back.
Yeah, Mr. Hash will come back again with that there's another gentleman who's involved in this who's going to give more information. But one of the things that I would say to you, there's 3 groups of people that they're looking for. Mr. Hash, tell us about the leaders that you're looking for.
Yeah, basically the Haringey Council wants to create a program called Tottenham Sports Active. We basically want the listeners out there, if you in Haringey, which is Tottenham, which is the borough of Tottenham, if you're a community leader, in any organization, whether it's faith groups like churches, mosques, whether it's Rastafarian religion, all the communities that are related to our people, there's basically a funding going on within Haringey to get our people, adults from 25 upwards, to get involved with physical activity and sports activity.
If someone's a bit younger but they've got qualifications in the field, can they be part of this?
Yes, we're looking for volunteers. That will, and there's a lot of benefit. The reason why we're on this program to get this message to our community is because there's a lot of benefit involved.
Okay, can you just say what the just list what the criteria is for? the volunteers?
The volunteers, basically, it doesn't really matter if you have interest in sports activities or not. It's all about your passion. If you have passion in any kind of sport, whether it's swimming, football, gym, there is basically an initiative to get members to use all the health clubs within Haringey at almost very low discounted rate, and we're looking for volunteers as well. The volunteers will be getting a free training, and we'll be getting free gym membership for 3 years. And the training will take you like a professional, and it's all free. And we basically want our people to get hold of this message and get involved before, because this is for the whole of the community. So normally this funding comes, but our people don't get information.
So what you're saying is it could go to other communities, other people in the community from different faiths, because this is all under faiths.
Yes, it's all about faith groups, community leaders. So if you're a community leader out there, whether it's in a mosque or in a church, or it's African traditional religion or Rastafarian movement, and you're a leader, because people are of influence. Basically, what we're trying to do is to create small little teams that we can use. These teams can play sports competition within the borough to harmonize people. But there's a funding.
Just want to quickly ask you, if someone is not of the traditional from the traditional religions, and because a lot of us who are in this community are what we call spiritual. They're not necessarily assigned to the larger faiths. Can people be involved?
Yes. I mean, as long as you are a resident in Tottenham, the only reason why we're using the faith
Tottenham,
groups,
Haringey. Yeah.
We want to contact the faith group leaders, because they have influence on their people.
Right.
But even if it's a spiritual organization, and yes, it's basically it's to bring a lot of physical activity in terms of sports into the community. So in a way to harmonize the people of the Haringey, and also bring the interest in sports, like physical activity, because it's all to do with health awareness, but health awareness in terms of physical activity.
Okay. So again, I just want to ask age group. So if someone is, because obviously we've got, say, someone who's 50, are they going to be doing sports for someone who's 20?
No. Because what
could be quite daunting.
What it is about is we create. Okay, for example, I'll give a typical example.
Please.
We'll be arranging like football matches. So the football match will be like people of same age, say 40 to 50 age group.
Right.
They will play among themselves.
They'll be in the okay.
And then the 30 people within the 30 to 40 will play. So you don't have to feel.
And then the much younger people will.
Yeah, and there's this kind of walking sport. So you don't even have to, even if you can't even run, and even if you have physical disabilities, there's ways that we can arrange the games, because basically it's about bringing fun in terms of physical activity.
Fantastic.
So if you like swimming, whether it's tennis, table tennis, badminton, gym, just working out, football, whatever it is, you all welcome. But it's, as I'm saying, we will have to contact us, because as the volunteers, not the numbers are coming. But basically we're trying to get our people to, because as I say, there's funding behind this to get all the benefit. There's a lot of benefit, because right now there's not a lot of time for me to really break everything down.
Right, which is why you're going to come back.
What we know is there is a lot of benefits involved, and just contact us, and we're trying to arrange a weekly a venue where people can come and learn more about it. But for the time being, if you get this message, just contact us to find out what is in it for you. So that, I mean, and not, to cut long story, that's how I can explain it, because there's a lot of benefit, and we want our people in the community to know about what's this benefits that is there in terms of health and fitness.
Kings and Queens, I believe that this is a really good initiative, and it's very important that we live in the community, and we should be enjoying the community, because we're paying taxes and all sorts of things. We're contributing to the community, and this is a chance for you to all the money you're contributing through, because when you're buying things, you're paying to all, you're giving that to the government. So now is a chance for you to take this and empower yourselves, physically, because we had the people that just came on was empowering us educationally, and now we want the physical side as well. So we can be running with our children, we can be, running with them, having fun with them, playing sports with them. And sports as well. One of the things I would say to you that's really important, sport helps with your brain. It actually creates more brain cells. It actually regenerates your brain cells. So it actually makes people smarter. So exercise is very, very important. And I must admit, I am not a big lover of exercise, but even I am becoming aware as I'm getting older, and I want to enjoy, my grandchildren's lives, and be part of my nieces and nephews, and just really for myself. I don't want to be falling apart. So I would stress that it's very important for our young people, as well as our older people, because we can see that young people are struggling with their health and their fitness, as well as the older people. So this is a chance for whole families. Mum and dad could be doing the older age group, and the children could be there doing their part. And it's really a chance for us to enjoy. And this is in the Tottenham Haringey, and I think this is a fantastic initiative. And Mr. Hash, can you just leave your details so if people are interested, which I'm sure they will be? Yes,
my telephone number is 0742 86 46 759. Repeat again, 0742 86 46 759. And
have you got an email?
Yeah, you can email me on Hashim Larry.
Can you spell that just?
Yes, HASHIM, which is Hashim, and Larry LARRY at gmail.com.
Okay.
So it's Hashim Larry at gmail.com. I do, because as I said, all my passion has always been about health, fitness, that anything to do with that aspect. So I do have a blog site.
Yeah, do you want to just give that out to people?
Yeah, that I do.
Is it still under construction, or have you? Yeah?
No, it's
stuff. So if
that you can come and learn. I mean, just learning so much about health, fitness, and ways of modern way of
if you just give that to people.
That is Empower Network. Empower, like empowering people.
I am empowered.
Empower, and then network.com. So empowernetwork.com /hash, which is HASH. So it's empowernetwork.com /hash. So I do have blogs about, and this I'll be blogging around
what's going on, so people can tap into
But for the time being, the key thing is just to contact me on the telephone.
Can you read that number again for us?
The number is 0742 86 46 759. So just as I was saying, because of the limited time, we haven't really got the time to break things down, but we're just using this opportunity for you listeners out there, anyone living in the borough of Haringey, which is Tottenham. There's a lot of benefit involved in terms of getting involved with these sporting activities and your health and well-being, and there's a lot of good packages. But just contact us to find out more, and God willing, we'll be coming there sometimes, because this project is going to run for the next 3 years. So it's an ongoing thing, and we just want to get our people at the forefront of it.
Yeah, it's very, very important that, we, because obviously it's for everybody in the community, but we would love, for our people to be benefiting from all these different initiatives that's going on. So for me, anything that I hear about that I know will benefit us, I will be bringing those people or announcing that, and this is one of those situations that I feel we really need to have. And even though we didn't have much time, I thought he's got to come in and share.
Yeah, I think it's we got the message across. This is the key. This is the key message. But
do you want, just before you go, just tell people why? Just leave a few gems about why people should move and why they should feel good in their body. We've got really running out of time.
Yeah, movement is very key in every. If you look at creation, every creation moves. The birds are always flying, animals are always moving. Our Creator created us to move. Moving is part of our well-being. So this is what we basically promote. We know we have to eat well, we have to, but exercise, movement. Most of us, our lifestyle today, there's not a lot of movement, and that is what we just want to get to our people.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate for the time that I just had here to share this message, and I'm very happy for the service you guys are providing here, you know, enlightening the community and, you know, uplifting our people. And I appreciate that a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Hash. And Kings and Queens, we are about to leave again for another Wednesday, and I've really enjoyed this show. I'm just buzzing, and I love your energy coming. You know, you've texted, you've sent, you know, shout outs and what have you. And our silent listeners, I thank you all so much. I appreciate your support, and I hope you got as much as I've got from this show. And I just want you to go away with just remember, you're powerful beings, you're really important, you're special, you've got so much to give. So please, you know, the energy that I'm feeling coming from you, share that wherever you go. You know, give that positive energy. You know, say the wonderful things that you feel for somebody.
You share about the radio as well. Promote the radio,
and promote Nubia House Media.
Share
because
it amongst your friends.
The management here, you know, is working so hard for us to have this platform. And you know, I love it, and I know you love it, and you know, we want to keep them, you know, keep putting some energy into them. Yeah, and we really appreciate what Nubia House is doing for us. So anyway, I could waffle on for a very long time, as you know. So I'm going to go now, and I will definitely see you again next week. Next week is going to be a fun show. I will tell you all about it in the Nubia House Facebook page. It's going to be fun. It's not really any particular subject, but you're going to like it, I'm pretty sure. So thank you, my beautiful, lovely, wonderful listeners.
And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
And it takes the two to tango. We appreciate everything that you're doing, and the management, Minty.
And the management team,
and the management team. I mean, you know, I've just said we pray for the blessings to touch them all.
To continue. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thanks.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Remember now, so this a crucial time. Not because you're coming from the ghetto, you gonna make a difference, make it better. Young girl, live up and make good use of yourself. Go to school and don't you prostitute yourself. Not because you're coming from the ghetto, you gonna make a difference, make it better. Rude boy, live up and make good use of your time. Remember now, so this a crucial time. Not because you're coming from the ghetto, you gonna make a difference, make it better. Young girl, live up and make good use of yourself. Go to school and don't you prostitute yourself. Not because you're coming from the ghetto, you gonna make a difference, make it better. Unemployment brings the stifling. No expression of talent brings the idling. Tell them every time life is a cycle, and I love alone, I don't need no rival. And black and proud and helpless, say it aloud, it's progress. Educate the crowd, not no careless. Most I think so, I say I guide the steps. Youth man, live up and make good use of your time. Remember now, say this a crucial time. Not because we're coming from the ghetto, I can make a difference, make it better. Young girls, live up and make good use of yourself. Don't go to school and don't you prostitute yourself. Not because she coming from the ghetto, she can make a difference, make it better. You man, live up and make good use of your time. Oh, it's a crucial time. Not because you're coming from the ghetto, I will make a difference, make it better. Young girls, live up and make good use of yourself. Girls going down and prostitute yourself. Not because you're coming from the ghetto, you can make a difference. Oh, education, so take you to the future. You never know what around you face in the future. Positive things you should be doing in the future. Your life will never get ruined in the future. Use it for the progressiveness and the betterment. Raise up your eyes and set the youth man, live up and make good use of your time. Remember now, say this a crucial time. Not because we're coming from the ghetto, we can make a difference, make it better. Young girls, live up and make good use of yourself. And go to school and don't you prostitute yourself. Not because Cause you're coming from the ghetto. Money thought it to be. Stand